Welcome to Nonprofit Nerd Impact Unleashed. Get ready to dive into the world of nonprofits, where the nerdy passion and unstoppable dedication of those making a real impact is celebrated. Together with your host, Jarrett Ransom, the inspiring stories and game-changing strategies of nonprofit leaders will be explored. Join us to unravel the mysteries of successful fundraising, uncover the secrets to effective advocacy, and nerd out over innovative approaches to solving social challenges. Nonprofit Nerd Impact Unleashed is your go-to podcast for no-nonsense discussions with real-life superheroes of the nonprofit sector. Get ready to unleash your inner nerdiness and discover or rediscover how to change the world together. Now let's dive in and embrace the power of our nerdy side.
All right. I'm really excited to share this conversation that I just had with my dear friend, Jason Champion. We realized that we have known each other for, probably 5+ years. It's been quite some time. We really connect. We really have a lot of fun together. He's got some contagious energy. So he really does bring his dynamic personality. He's with Winspire. He's got some really good tips that he's going to share with you, like his commitment to the gym. But that's not been something that he has committed to forever. It's really kind of a new commitment. So I think you will really like what Jason has to share. Go ahead and listen to this conversation. And also shout out of gratitude again to this season's sponsor, Fundraising Academy at National University. Thank you. Well, hey there, Jason. How are you today, my friend?
I'm good. Good to see you, Jared. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but I promise every time we get together, it is like not a day has passed. We have, just stayed in contact every single day. And I love the energy you bring to, I'm going to say every conversation because it's just contagious.
Well, I feel the same way. And I mean, obviously, when great minds meet, they stay together. And I just think that we have so many great things that we can bounce off of each other and, just true respect for each other within the industry.
Yeah, I feel that too. Thank you. I received that as a huge compliment. I'm trying to think back, like we've known each other for several years. I don't
Yep.
even know how many years to count.
Yep.
But it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun. I have really enjoyed watching your career grow and take off, and just the information that you're able to provide to nonprofits on a realistic, authentic basis is really what I'm drawn to, of having real conversations. Like it's one thing to get out and let's have a strategic plan of how we're going to raise money and stuff. But when you get into that boardroom with a large corporation that's trying to give you money, that conversation goes a little different sometimes. And I think that you're able to kind of bridge that gap of preparing folks what the reality is going to be and then preparing them for the things that could go wrong. And that's really where you excel. And I'm drawn to that and I love it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, a little bit of the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
So let's jump into those authentic conversations. I love to start out these conversations by asking, we hold a lot of names, or I feel we hold a lot of names in our world, a lot of titles. There's a lot of plates spinning, a lot of balls we're juggling. For you, Jason, what are some of the names that you go by that you're willing to share publicly? Let's just also put a caveat to that.
Professionally, I'm the vice president of national accounts for Winspire. Personally, I'm the president of Project Pride Sarasota. I'm also a community board member for Seacoast Bank. And then overall, my pronouns are I'm it. We're doing it.
I love that. I love that. Well, you've got, I don't know. I love the travels that you and your husband do. I love, all of the amazing stuff that you're providing in the community. I see you, from that professional lens, and then also completely committing to your community in ways that I don't know how you find the time to do it, to be honest.
It was kind of funny when I got involved with Pride in Sarasota. We have lived in Sarasota for close to 20 years now. And really hadn't been involved in any of the LGBTQ organizations. We've gone to events, we've supported, we've done that, but never really participated in a board. And so getting onto the board with that was a huge commitment, but we both sat down, Jim and I both are on the board. We kind of sat down, and at this time in our life, we felt like it was the right thing to do. As divisive as politics are right now in the state of Florida and the United States, we felt that we both represented a segment of the LGBT community that is of a professional quality. And we felt that this was the time that we needed someone to be able to step up and kind of have those conversations, one heart, one mind at a time, because I come from a corporate background. So to be able to sit and really talk about the share of revenue and exposure and what we can do to build business across the lines, and it not just be focused that we're putting on a pride parade, but we're really building commitment for the community through support services, financial awareness, those kind of situations is really what we needed. And it just fit that with the right time for us. So to balance all of that, plus a full-time job, has been quite time consuming. And it was the right time though. Like, I feel like I'm able to balance all of that. I'm one of those folks that the busier that I am, the less trouble I get into. To
connect. I think that's the connection between us.
To be authentic, when I'm got a full plate and I work, 8 hours at a job and then 4 or 5 hours as volunteer work and have dinner and lay down and rinse and repeat the next day, that's when I'm truly at my happiest.
I can see that. I feel it. There's this old adage, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. And I feel like you're one of those people, which is why you said, now's the time to do this commitment to the community, to serve in this capacity. So that's a lot of hats you wear, Jason. In addition to, your job and your personal life, you guys do a lot of travel. So can you talk to us about brass tacks, right? Like, how do you manage the hours in your day, the commitments on your calendar? I've heard from guests this season and last season, Excel documents, calendars, sticky notes, there's so many different ways, but what works for you in your life as you balance and juggle everything between your work life and your personal life and everything else in between?
Check, check, check. Sticky note, calendars, Excel spreadsheets, all of that. Phone 1, phone 2, it all ties together. Everything is on, electronic and in my phone, which is great. It keeps me organized and ready to go. One thing that keeps me focused and helps me center is I leave the house every morning at 6 a.m. I go to Starbucks. I know the folks at Starbucks. I love them. I get a tall blonde with 2 raw sugar and a little bit of cream and a fruit and cheese box. And then I drive to my gym and I sit in the parking lot of the gym and have my little breakfast where I check my emails, look at my schedule, peruse Facebook for 10 minutes. And then I go into the gym at 6:45. I stretch for 10 minutes and then I work out from 7 to 8. And then I'm at home at 8:15. I walk my dogs 2 miles. I come back, sit down at my desk until about 10:30, where I then get up and take a shower, and then come back and finish out the day.
Wow, that is structure. Do you
Yes.
skip days? Do you do this on the weekends? What does that commitment look like?
So weekends are full of events around our community and pride. Plus, I decided I needed more opportunities to do things for myself over the weekends. So 3.5 years ago during COVID, I started the first LGBTQ kickball league here in Sarasota, where we started our season with 28 people. And we are about to wrap up our 4th spring season, and we're ending with 175 members.
Oh my God.
So Saturday mornings in the spring from February until May, I'm at the kickball field. We have 8 games going on that day, set up. That was another title. I'm president of the Sarasota Kickball League. Forgot about that. And so that's kind of what I do on Saturdays, but I do go to the gym 6 days a week to stay consistent. Yeah.
No, that's really good. What about, when you think of your commitments, your weekend fun, all of that good stuff, where is their self-care and relaxation? And I do want to attribute, like, I get that the gym is self-care. Maybe it's relaxation for some people. Are there other self-care, I don't know, regimens that you do or relaxation that you look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely. So one of the things that we did this past 6 months was we installed a pool at our house. So I now have pool breaks that I'll go out, jump in for 15, 20 minutes between calls and come back with wet hair and get on phone calls and Zoom calls just like this. But the beauty of where we live in Sarasota, Florida is there's gorgeous sunsets every day. And when I have a moment to break away and ride my bike over to the beach and watch a beautiful sunset, that's kind of my part of my relaxation. But truly, my full outlet to be prepared and ready for the hectic day is going to the gym and working out any anxiety, getting my energy together and putting myself forward. And that's the best way to move me forward. It works for me. And I didn't really get into working out and going to the gym until 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. And it's just been one of those things that now I work out in a hotel gym, which I would have never thought I'd been that person ever. And so when I don't do it, I feel unnourished. I feel empty, and I need that boost of energy to move me forward.
That is commendable. I was thinking, I'm not that hotel gym workout person, and I have tried. I will pack the clothes, I will put the shoes in. Forget it. They don't come out. So, like,
Well, Jarrett, what's the hardest thing about going to the gym? It's putting your shoes on. That is the
it's
hardest
going to,
thing, is to put your shoes on to go to the gym. That's the hardest thing, because when you're there, you can zone out, you can do your thing. But getting up, putting your shoes on, and walking out the door is the hardest thing about going to the gym. And when I got in that routine of doing that, it just made it so much easier.
yeah. I remember, I think it was last year, maybe you and I were at the same conference together. We were both preparing to go on stage, and we were, sharing our woes of, oh, we've got some extra pounds we don't want,
Right?
or COVID didn't do us justice because there were some extra pounds there too. So I'm really impressed, Jason, with your commitment to getting to the gym. And I can only imagine this helps with your overall wellness consistently.
Consistently, it does. I will say that I was extremely surprised when I had my physical this year, and my cholesterol was down by like 20 points. My weight was down from what my normal is. I mean, and if anybody sees me in public, I'm 6'2" and I'm 225. And I've been that big since I was in the 7th grade. So I've never been smaller than that. So I don't know what it would feel like to be skinny, but I'm just a big dude. And it's funny because I was just at one of those conferences again, and I had somebody come up that I've known for years and said, wow, you look amazing. You've lost so much weight. And it's really that I've not lost weight. It's just, it's shifted into different locations. And
Yeah.
it feels good, and my clothes feel good, and I am comfortable. Not doing it for the admiration and people to notice that, but I feel good, and that's my self-care.
Yeah, I've been getting into that more and more, going to the gym. My husband and I, we both like to ride bikes. He's an avid mountain biker, so he gets me out there a little bit more. And same thing, I've dropped some weight, Jason, but the weight I do have is starting to tone up, starting to shift, moving from left to right or up to down. And it's like, oh, just these little changes. I'm starting to see some significant benefit from it,
Yeah,
not only mentally, but physically, like
yeah,
really seeing my body changing in ways that I'm like, and I'm in my mid-40s. So it's like,
yeah.
oh, this is still possible. That's really good to know.
Well, I am higher than mid 40s. I am pushing the 50.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's amazing. So Jason, I follow you on social media, and I love seeing all the great places you get to go. And I think a lot of that might be with Winspire, but I have a feeling that you are also just, an adventure-filled person. You got to do some truffle hunting. So I've now added that to my to-do list, like something that I aspire to do. And I'm really curious, does travel show up as a place and space for you to really have that self-care time? Does that fulfill you in that way?
Yeah, I mean, getting out and adventuring the world brings peace to you that people don't even realize. Like, they're getting to see other cultures. They're removing what they have as preconceived notions to understand the rest of the world, and to be out there and be immersed in it is really a level of humbleness. Like, it will humble you to be in a situation where you don't speak the language, you don't look like anybody else, and you have to find ways to be relatable, to understand, and to move forward in those kind of situations, which is really fun. And to me, it's a challenge to figure out what they're saying about me. How do I communicate to get what I need in these situations? And how do I build a relationship with someone that I potentially may never, ever, ever see again? And so that part of that challenge and that excitement is part of self-care. The second part of that self-care for me is that when I get on a plane, I act like it doesn't have Wi-Fi. And it is my time to be quiet. And I have headphones. I'm listening to podcasts or music or whatever. I don't talk to anyone. I literally get on the plane, even with my husband. I don't even talk to him. I will get on the plane, put on my headphones before we even shut the door to take off. And I don't take them off until we land. Because that is my moments of silence in whatever I can do.
Okay, that surprises the heck out of me, Jason. I thought you would keep working on one of those two phones that you pulled up. I thought you would be, selling some packages with Winspire. When did that start? Because I'm really curious if that's been like your go-to travel experience as you're on this airplane always, or is this new?
I would say it's probably new in the last 5 or 6 years. When I first started at Winspire, I was on the road, probably 40 weeks out of the year almost. And, it was maybe short flights or whatever. And I was doing emails and stuff like that. And then I just kind of made that decision of, okay, here's the moment that everybody knows that I'm on a plane. They know they're not going to like ping me for things that they need. They'll wait till I land. So I'm like, just disconnect. Like, take that moment and just disconnect. And that has been little moments of happiness that I've had when I've been traveling so much, because airports are crazy. It's busy. People are all over you. Flights are full. I mean, traveling can be rough on yourself and your body and, just the world around you, because people are not getting where they need to, and they're frustrated sometimes. And so to get on a plane and sit down and just kind of be quiet by myself and focus on potentially things that I need to get done or that I'm looking to do. But it is a kind of a meditation time for me. And I started doing it about 5 years ago when I didn't have to do anything. Now, mind you, you probably think that I would be up running the plane, having entertainment, and I'd be dancing up and down the aisles. Now, I have done that. But this last couple of years,
Yes.
I've definitely moved to having that as a little peace and quiet for me.
I love hearing that from you. I think it also, for many of our listeners, gives them the permission to do the same, to really take that opportunity to say, yes, we know airplanes now, they all have Wi-Fi. However, I've been on several that it's like, sorry, our Wi-Fi is not working today. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. That's a blessing.
See that response right there of, okay, cool. Nobody's going to expect me. Because I mean, there's all you have to say is when you land, sorry, we didn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's right.
You can combat that. So it is, I do enjoy that 2-hour, 4-hour flight that I don't have to do anything. I've got stupid games downloaded on my phone that I'll sit there and play and zone out with. And I probably should be talking to people for just professional reasons and to just be there. But I've found that when I'm sitting there with my headphones on, the person next to me puts theirs on and we're both quiet, which is great.
Yeah. I'm very similar to you in this way. I started traveling not only with earplugs, but an eye mask. And I will legit put my eye mask on the airplane. No apologies. I've caught myself snoring before. Again, no apologies. And I'm just like, I'm taking this time to decompress, to just be here,
Yep.
have a drink served to me, whatever the snack that is. And so I love that you're sharing that, because I would not have expected that from you, Jason.
I know. And I tell people that they're like, wow, I thought you would have met everybody in the 6 rows around you, and had a conversation and got business cards. But it is nice when I have that. And so when I take night flights, not only do I have an eye mask on, very similar to you, but I put the little eye patches on under there, and because it's dark in the plane, no one can see you. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to email you a picture that you can share with folks that's
Would you
taken in the
please?
plane. Yeah,
Would
I
you
will.
please? And I also want to up my ante and add to my travel pack, the eye patches.
Mhm.
I think that would be really
Yep.
good. Speaking of all of this, when is your next vacation? Like, when is your next travel vacation? Hopefully you're able to unplug, do something fun for yourself. What does that look like on your calendar?
Yeah, I've got 2 personal vacations this year. I've talked to you before. We have a place in the Keys, Florida Keys. So I'll be down there for about 2 weeks in August, where I'll disconnect, and that's kind of a regular thing every year. But one of the fun vacations we have this year is we're coming to Aspen for Aspen Music Festival during Labor Day weekend, which will be a lot of fun. We did it last year. This will be a nice time. It's just a beautiful time of year there, and saw a wonderful concert for 3 days, and that's a lot of fun. But we have on the schedule for next year, we're going to hike Kilimanjaro.
Oh my goodness. The two of you, a big
Yep.
group. What does that look like?
Yep, it's the 2 of us. We'll be with a group of 12 others, and
Okay.
it is a 12-day trek that we will do. And it's a gentle climb, 2.5 to 4 miles a day. The good thing is that we will have Sherpas that will be with us, that will be assisting with, carrying a lot of heavy stuff. And we're kind of just moseying along is what we're excited about.
What an experience. I
Yeah.
love that for the two of you. That will be, as you know, I'm sure, like unforgettable, a bucket list
Yep.
item that I know so many people have.
Yep.
Okay, well, as we wrap up, I really want to ask, is there anything that you would like to offer up to our listeners when it comes to self-care, when it comes to these, like establishing a new healthy, positive pattern? Is there any kind of words or sage wisdom that you can impart?
It try everything. Try everything to see what you're comfortable with. And if you walk away from trying something the first time and you feel like, maybe let me try it again to see if it's different. Let me see, or you may walk away from it and go, nope, not at all. And that's how I got go into the gym that I go to, because it's a very active kind of CrossFit boot camp, workout, cardio kind of thing. And I bounced around to a couple of places to see what I like, because I'd walk out of a normal gym going, I just don't want to do this. This is not for me. I need someone telling me what to do. I need a countdown clock. I need disco music. Like, that's what I need. And I found that to move me forward. And that's where I would just tell people, try something. Try going on a flight and putting your headphones on and not saying anything but ginger ale, please, and see how you feel when you get off that plane, because it's going to give you a moment just to reflect either about your day or what you're walking into and what you need to do for the future. So try it. If it is going and walking in the park for an hour in the afternoon, if it's going and watching a sunset, if it's riding a bike or roller skating, try it. That's what I would say.
Right. Great advice, because you're right. Not everything is suitable for all people.
Nope.
I used to hear all the time, oh, I love taking a really long hot bath. And I'm like, Ew, that does not sound fun to me. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. And then journaling. Some people recommend journaling, and I'm like, I've tried it, but I don't do it consistently. But I love your suggestion. Like, really try on these different places. And even if it's trying on working out at a variety of gyms to figure
Right.
out what is the right community for me,
Right.
do that.
Right. And that's self-care, making
That is
sure that you are comfortable in your situations of what you're doing. And then when it becomes comfortable for you to do, it becomes routine and then it's second nature. Like I naturally now wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to go. This is what I'm doing. And I've just built my body to working toward that. And it is one of those things, like if you know that you got to sit down in the afternoon and read for 30 minutes of your book and that gives you peace, try it. I can't sit and read. That just does not. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll listen to a book on tape. But me sitting and reading, my mind is too all over the place. I can't do that. So try it though.
Absolutely.
Try it. I did.
Check, we did that. It didn't
Check.
work. Well, for everyone who wants to know more about you, Jason, where can we find more about you? Is there a great place that we can follow you and connect? What should you share so that the listeners can know more?
Yeah, I mean, find me on all the socials. I mean, my Facebook is Jason Allen Champion. My LinkedIn is Jason Allen Champion. You'll see where I'm professionally at the moment doing different things because we're speaking at a conference coming up. So yeah, just check it out that way, socials, and then check out Winspire for what we do. And I do have a website. It's jasonallenchampion.com. Check it out and see what I got going on. And I'm happy to be anywhere and bring any light that anybody needs.
Well, thank you, Jason. It's been such a pleasure having this conversation with you. Again, Jason and I go years back. We were supposed to be on stage together actually for a gala, which happened during the pandemic. So that didn't take place. But yeah, I always love being with you and hearing this great insight. So I appreciate you taking the time to share with me.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here and keep up doing the good work that you're doing. You're a lot of inspiration for a lot of people.